Okay, great, great. Hi everyone. Kate LeMay here, uh, friend of Maria from the library, who's asked me to join you today to talk about pursuing our passion. So we're going to hang out here while we're waiting for folks to join us. If you're happy to be here, go ahead and say hello so I know who's with us today. Being broadcast live here from the YMCA of Greater Boston camps where I work. So if you're here, feel free to say hello as we get ready for our little talk about pursuing our passions. It's one of my favorite things to talk about. Oh, yep. I'm actually on a few pages at the same time, Lonnie. So I think I'm on the library page as well as the art page. So if you want to check that out for me, that'd be great. Very fancy. We're up to some 4 people. So please tell me who's here so we know who we're talking to. Kate LeMay joining you today. We're going to talk about pursuing our passion. I've prepared a fancy 5C template. That's what I'm calling it, the 5C template for pursuing your passion. Hi Kim. Hi Lonnie. We're starting here in about 3 minutes, and this will be a nice short little sharing of how to pursue your passion, some ways to get clarity. Who else is with us today? If you want to give me a hello. Oh, I know. I'm so excited. I'm passionate about pursuing and sharing my passion. About passion. It's a lot of passions. How's everyone doing today? You want to give us a shout out where you're streaming in from? And we'll get started in about 2 minutes. So hello to all the folks that are joining us. We're just getting ready for today's topic about pursuing our passion. It's such an important thing. Ooh, pinky maracas. Pinky maracas are a thing that is often joins in as we pursue our passions. We know because we start doing pinky maracas. That's a good sign that we're feeling passion. So if as you're listening today, you feel excitement, you can practice doing some pinky maracas. This is what pinky maracas is. Oh, thank you. Thank you for complimenting my best, Lonnie. Okay. All right. We have one more minute till we get started. Hopefully we don't lose our 4 people that are viewing. You guys should stay with us through the end here. A quick shout out and thank you to Maria over at the Guilford Public Library, one of my favorite places in the world, for inviting me here today to talk about pursuing your passion. And she was we just had a quick chat and she said, it's an action, Kate. We're pursuing our passion. I was like, I love that so much. Maria is all about the action. Okay. Well, here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready, my friends, for what I'm calling the 5 C's of pursuing your passion? So first off, I just want to say hello and thanks for having me. I'm Kate LeMay. I'm actually a Guilford resident by birth, but I currently live in a different town. But I'm always a Guilfordian. I love Guilford very much, and I'm a very proud friend of the Guilford Library. I love the Guilford Library, and I'm grateful for all the activities they do for the community. They were a savior to me and my family, especially when I had young kids. So just I'm so grateful to be here. Uh, and on a place that I love. So are we ready? Are we ready to dig into the 5 C's of pursuing your passion? So before we get started, I just want to ask you, if I were to say, are you pursuing your passion right now in life? What would you say for yourself? Would you say, yes? And then if you did say yes, how would you know? Like, how would you know you're pursuing your passion? What does it look like? And if you say no, I would also ask, how do you know that? How do you know you're not pursuing your passion? Um, I think when we think about the idea of pursuing our passion, say for work, or pursuing our passion as a career, that might add more layers of pressure almost to the passion. So for today, I'm going to talk about pursuing your passion in regards to not necessarily for a career, but just in a way that makes your heart feel alive. So when we think about pursuing your passion, and I'm asking you how you might know you're doing that, for me, it looks like I lose space and time. Like I could be doing something for so long and I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to drink water or eat, or, I'm just so into what I'm doing. That's how I know that I'm feeling passionate about something. Um, Another way you might clue into your passion, like where that you're in a passion area, is that you're kind of like geeking out or nerding out over the topic. Like you might really get interested in something super detailed about a topic, and that for example, if I was passionate about, say, painting, which I am, I would be like really into the type of brush I'm using or a certain kind of pigment, or I might find myself when I'm watching something online, a video about somebody, I would be like really into what they're saying. That's a clue that we are into our passion area. So with that, I want to share the 5 C's that I've developed just for you today, the Guilford Public Library family, um, on pursuing your passion. So the first C is curiosity, or getting curious. I think that if you're not sure if you're doing your passion, just being like curious about it, like, am I passionate about this? How would I know? Give yourself permission to get a little bored. Like literally say, I'm not going to do anything for a whole hour and see how that feels. You're also, my recommendation on getting curious is giving you space. Give yourself space. Oops, sorry, something is happening. We limit how often you can post. Okay. I'm like, okay, it's not letting me do this. That's okay. Okay, we're back. We're back. Sorry for the technology challenges. We're on to pursuing our passion. Thanks, Don. And our first C was around getting curious. So space, giving ourselves space and allowing boredom helps with the curiosity. A lot of times we have very clear direction every single day. We know what we're doing. We have our patterns. I especially think that when we're younger in high school, so maybe there's some high school folks watching this, it's you probably know your passion by just what you watch, what you naturally draw yourself to. Getting curious is a great first step on how to figure out what you are passionate about. So the second C is seeking clarity. So after we get a little curious, we might say, I really like looking at flowers a lot, or I like maybe I find myself reorganizing the furniture in my house. So different things that you've just noticed. When I'm bored or when I have time, I'm really drawn toward these activities. So the next thing you might say to yourself is, if I'm trying to really foster passion, what are the ways that I could do that. And in getting clear will help you with that idea. So getting clarity might look like looking into other people that do this work. It might also mean that you figure out like, okay, this is where I'm at right now in my progression, but I'd like to be able to do this around this passion. So giving yourself permission to go deep on a topic, not just wide on a topic, if that makes sense. So you're really going to say, what would it look like for me to pursue this passion a little bit more? The other tip I have on getting clarity is to sit quietly and look for clues. Sometimes we're so busy with our outside life that we don't give that still small voice in us space to talk to us about what we care about. And so as we're sort of forming our relationship with our passion, knowing that that little voice is a great indicator of clarity. Okay. Okay. The third C is have the courage to approach your passion. Nothing we're good at ever did we start and were we an expert right away, right? So we need to approach our passion with, I work with young people, and part of what we talk about in the industry that I work in is just the space that you can grow and try new things. And it takes a lot of courage to be a beginner again. So as you're pursuing your passion, say you're an adult and you're like, I've always wanted to learn how to dance. I want to try dancing. And showing up at that first dance class, maybe with a bunch of young people in the class, could be completely intimidating. So you want to give yourself space to have courage around the area that you're pursuing your passion in. So I really love painting. I'll use that as an example again. And when I first started, I was horrible. I was a horrible painter, but I loved painting. I loved the time that I spent just playing with water and pigment, watching the way that moved, and feeling like even though this wasn't going to be a painting I would sell, it would be something that made me happy, and I was happy enough with that. So the courage to keep trying when you're really early at something. Yeah, Dawn, drawing, that's another really good example. If you love drawing, say you love it, it's especially interesting when we love things that maybe there isn't an immediate outward result for others. So, eventually you could give your drawings away and you can draw for other people, or you could draw things that you put in shows. But in the beginning, it's really just for you. There's no one else. It's not an audience. So giving yourself the courage to show up even without a result or an expectation, especially, is really important. Yeah, a lot of the arts, I would say the arts are a beautiful form where passion exists for people, but because as an adult, you might say, it's not part of my job, or I don't have the time for it, you don't prioritize this time in your life. So just having the courage to say, I'm going to be a beginner at something, or I'm going to try to figure something out, that makes a difference. So the next C is commitment. So our first C was getting curious. Our second C was getting clarity. Our third C was having courage. And our fourth C is commitment. So passion for me is deep. It's deep stuff. It's not, it's like the fruit of effort and the fruit of showing up. And commitment forms a depth to our work that I truly think feeds passion, especially when it's boring. So that commitment to going deep looks like, oh, I am really passionate about this. Today I'm not really in the mood, but then choosing I am going to do it because I said that I cared about this and it mattered. Prioritizing it, putting it on your schedule, saying things like, this matters to me, therefore it earns space in my calendar. So making a commitment to yourself and making a commitment to this passion is just like anything. That which you focus on, you will get great results. And in this case, the result is a spark or feeling in you that you are pursuing your passions. And then the last C is consistency. So showing up, even when it's boring, and even when you think, well, I'm not really feeling passionate right now. So this example, we'll go through our C's again. So first we were curious, we got some clarity, we have courage, we make a commitment, and then now the consistency is, and I will say this as a person who if you really want your passions to get deep and be integrated into your life, sometimes you're not going to feel in the mood, right? So say you're trying to write a book, or say you actually want to learn guitar, and go ahead, if you're on here right now, what's something you are passionate about that you want more in your life? Just so that I have something to kind of feel from you. Those things that we say we're passionate about, but then we don't show up for, the reward isn't as deep. If we show up for our passions, they will give us a lot back in return. Dawn, you're saying cooking. So if you think about if you were consistently going to progress in your cooking or feed that passion, you could say to myself, what would that look like? This might be a big example, but maybe you want to go take a class in Paris on cooking, or take a course from a chef so that you're engaging with a professional just to enhance your skills. Like, you might learn something in that experience. So getting outside inspiration because you're clear about what you're passionate about is a great way to continue to feed that passion. And I will say that once people know about your passion, they help you. Like, they're like, oh, I'll connect you with this person, because they know that your passion is something that they can want to get in on. People love passionate people, and they will help you pursue your passion. So when you're clear and it comes from you, what you're clear about and what you're passionate about, it's an unstoppable force in the universe. That's what I'll say. And personal cooking or a food truck, ooh, Dawn, I love it. So say you were interested in, and it sounds like you're interested in owning a food truck, which, how fun is that? What a great passion that would be to pursue. Just giving yourself space and time to think about that, and pursue it in marked ways. So the other thing I would say about the consistency and the commitment is that when I was ever trying to produce something for myself, and one of the tricks is I'll make a project out of it, right? I'll say, I'm gonna do something toward my art every day, period. Doesn't matter what it is. Just those actions alone really help fuel my fire. And it helps me to pick something in my free time that is around my passion area instead of randomly having things hit my life. So it's a little bit of a curated way of viewing your world. Actually, we could add that as our 6C. Curate. Curate a life around your passion, because when you do, the rewards are immense. And it, like I said earlier, pre getting cut off for this, the technology going wonky here, this doesn't have to be your livelihood or your job. You can pursue your passion just as a component of your life. It's great, I think, if it could be your job, but sometimes I've heard the phrase, why make your passion pressurized by having to produce resources for you to feed your family? I happen to be blessed that I'm passionate both about the work that I do, and I have a passion of art, which I think is why people might associate me with pursuing your passion. I am so grateful that I get to live a life really curated by design that has so many of my passions in it. So for you today, I hope this was helpful. And if you watch the replay, don't hesitate to put some comments in the chat to let us know what you got out of this. Again, our C's today, we're adding a sixth C. We have 6 C's. We're getting curious, we're getting clear, we're having courage, we're making a commitment, we're doing things with consistency, and we're curating our life to be one that really accentuates our passion. So that's what I have for you today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. Sorry if you've jumped around the internet to get to here, but I hope this was helpful. And let us know down in the chat, what are you passionate about? Thanks. Thanks, Dawn. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Lonnie.